Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what it do, baby? Welcome to the ASAP Mid-Morning Show. Y'all saw me in the morning. Y'all seen me again. I don't care if y'all get sick of my face. I'm still here. Obviously, unfortunately, I'm joined by Fredward, the man who his sole purpose in life is to give me a heart attack and high blood pressure. And we have a new man on the team. His name is T. Before we get into it, T, please take a minute, introduce yourself, let everybody know a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Appreciate the welcome over here. And hello to everyone out there. My name is Tani Mujikwa. I know it looks a little crazy on the last name, African last name, but honestly, I'm just happy to be here. I heard there was some craziness going about sports over here, and there were a couple people a little miseducated or misinformed on a couple topics that we need to talk about over here. So that's why they got me here on this show, and hopefully I can clear some things up. What's going on?
Ooh! Rah, rah, rah. If I'm mistaken, that was a shot at Freddie. If I'm not mistaken, Mitch, what's going on, my guy? I'm pretty positive that was just shot at Freddie. So before we get into the juicy topics, COVID-19, which exists, just throwing it out there. It's real, I promise, and if you don't believe me, go, well, I would tell you to do research, but nowadays research doesn't mean nothing. The number in terms of Westside Sports Radio, what it do, baby. The COVID numbers have been going up in the NFL, and it's been also going up in the NBA to the point where people genuinely believe there's going to be another lockdown. T, let me start with you. Do you believe that the NBA, any sports organization, do you believe that at some point they're going to have to consider shutting down the league for a little bit?
If you say consider, okay, you can consider it, but to actually shut it down, there's no way. The thing is, right, I don't know if you guys remember, but when COVID first started, the idea of being shut in was already a tough sell in general. So you're telling me to go back to what it was after this freedom that we had? Nah, there's just no way they can go back to it. I mean, even watching the NBA games or even the NFL, it's crazy how many players are out. It's like people are playing with like half their teams. I think Washington's getting killed right now in the NFL. It's sad to watch, but man, to completely stop it, I don't think you can go back there. And trying to sell that to everybody, man, good luck on that, because I don't see myself going back to quarantine.
I mean, it's tough. I'll be honest. The league needs to understand that if they do this, there's no way they can sell it. There's going to be no way they could really go and say, hey, look, this is really for the best. They just really have to do it. Freddie, let's say I'm going to put you in the role of Adam Silver. You run the league. You propose this to the owners, and the owners said, give us your plan. What route are you going to take to A, help slow down, the entire COVID thing, and B, and most importantly for a lot of the owners, how are you going to make sure we don't lose too much money?
Me personally, if I was the Adam Silver, my main focus wouldn't be on the money. My number one focus is the safety of our players and our fans. Because right now, in the beginning, I was more like, no, we don't need to take a break. It's only one team, two teams is going through it. But these last couple of weeks, we've seen multiple teams get affected with COVID. We've seen, hell, I can't name a team that's not being affected by it right now. It's like every few minutes I'm getting the tweet from Woj saying, hey, this person's in safety and protocols. So I'm like, well, it's to the point where I think we need to take a 2-week break just like Pride said. Take a 2-week break, let everybody get clear, from COVID, let them get back on the court. And I will also, in the background, be working on some type of bubble style play where if things do get too bad, where we have to get to move to a bubble where we don't have to shut down the league for a couple months to get this ready for the bubble. I will already have that bubble in place. Where all we have to do is send the players there, get ready to finish the season and to go into the playoffs scenario.
Are you talking about like the bubble for the regular season and the playoffs? Or are you just talking about like to start off the playoffs, you do the bubble?
What I'm saying is that if we take the 2 weeks off, let everybody get clear from COVID to get back on the court. We try to finish as much as the season as possible. But if cases start to spike too high, where to the point where we can't control it, instead of canceling the season, we'll go ahead and enter the bubble, that which I think they need to go ahead and get prepared for now, for plan C, just in case they just get too bad. They might even have to start limiting how many people can go to a game, how far they can sit, instead of some people wearing masks to everybody wearing a mask. I mean, they might have to tighten up on their rules. Might have to limit. I know players don't want to do this, but might have to limit players to going to certain events. I mean, I understand it. Everybody don't want to do those things, but guess what? Those guys want to get paid as well. So in order for us to keep this season going, we have to have some kind of guidelines in place.
Honestly, it's tough because no matter what you do, let's be honest, you're going to be wrong. Like, no matter what you do, there's always going to be someone saying you're wrong. Freddie, in theory, you're right, because let's be honest, if it wasn't for the players, NBA wouldn't be what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got to put that into perspective. So we do need to be able to protect the players. However, at the same time, if we're going to sit there and try to do a bubble, me personally, I don't like the bubble. And the reason I don't like the bubble is because I know whoever wins it, it's not going to count. It's always going to be some way to discredit it. If they're going to say it didn't count because you didn't go on the plane. No, hold on. They're going to say it doesn't count because you didn't go on the plane. It's going to say it didn't count because, there weren't really that many fans. They're going to say it doesn't count because there's no home court advantage or anything like that. They're going to say it doesn't count. And for me, that is the worst conversation I have with people, because this is what I say: regardless of the situation, a win is a win. Whether we like it or not, a win is a win. And if we go back to a bubble, it's always going to be those people. For instance, if the Lakers win this year, let's just say they win this year, it doesn't count because LeBron James won a ring. Doesn't count. It's not real. You know what I mean? Because we was in the bubble. If the Clippers win this year, the LA fans or the Laker fans will say doesn't count at all. Paul George is still trash. He had to do it in a bubble. If the Mavericks win, they luck their way into it. If the Celtics win, oh man, the bubble helped them out. If the Brooklyn Nets win, the bubble was the only reason. So it's just this thing where I hate the bubble because normal people look at it and say, you know what, they won. It is what it is. Certain people, I'm not saying names. So again, if I'm stepping on anybody's foot, as long as you don't say ow, no one will know it hurts. That's all I'm saying.
They say that all the time. They always want to say, "Oh, the Lakers got a Mickey Mouse championship."
Who said that?
I heard a lot of people say that.
Oh, in general. Oh, yeah. They say it's the Mickey Mouse ring, and I'm like, all right, bro. Quick, let me ask you, how long did it take you to Google that? Like, if you're gonna make up a joke, at least come up with your own. Like, you know what I mean? And my thing is, I'm not gonna strip a guy. That's really the only reason why I personally like the bubble.
Well, when's the last time people actually won it? Well, last team to win a championship and people didn't have things to say. Like the year before, it was, oh my gosh, they got lucky, they got hurt. Like it's always. I mean,
if we're gonna be like that, then the last team who won a ring, a legitimate ring where there was no controversy or anything like that, probably what? The Mavs?
Damn. Yeah.
Because when in Miami, when Braun went back to back, people still killed him. People still killed him.
No, that's not true. Dwayne Wade was hurt. He was hobbled. So
Doesn't
the Mavs
matter.
got lucky with that.
No, it doesn't
championship.
matter. LeBron James LeBron should have carried. That's
Why?
the conversation that was going on. LeBron should have hard carried. Doesn't matter, right? So it either was
Team game though. Team game.
It's crazy because I know people. Again, we'll cross the bridge when we get there. We'll cross the bridge when we get there. But all I'm saying, if a team wins in a bubble, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's different. Yes, let's not get it twisted. But for everything different about the bubble, we also have to take into consideration there's something challenging about it. Yeah, you don't have to travel. But guess what? You can't leave the bubble. You know what I mean? When you're in the outside world, guess what? I could practice. If I'm single, guess what? I could bang abroad. Like, we could do all this stuff. We could live. I could go to the mall. I could chill out. If I get mad, you know what I mean? I could drive. I can get air. I can move. I'm free. When you're in the bubble, you can't do that. And by the way, when people say, "Oh yeah, but there's no fans," you don't think that's awkward?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think it's awkward?
Being around a bunch of men.
Like, come on, bro. Like, don't you think sometimes that when you're just accustomed to playing in a stadium with fans, don't you think you get accustomed to just constantly hearing stuff? If you don't believe me, go ask the players who said that the silence was awkward. To the point where they literally said dudes on the sideline would literally just mumble German, like literally nonsense, just to put noise out there so there was at least something of a familiarity. Familiarity. Words are hard. So it's like, for me, from a watching perspective, I don't want a bubble, but we might have to. It might have to get to that point because, you know what I mean? Like, we're trying to let things go back to normal.
Well, when
and
you
the
cut off
cases
playoffs,
are rising and rising and rising. So it's like, we might have no choice, T.
I mean, all right. Let's say we go to the bubble, right? How do you actually seed the playoffs then? I mean, are we cutting it off? Are we trying to do some type of like playing?
Same thing.
Because
No,
I mean,
thing.
we're not even halfway point of the season right now.
No,
but I don't think like I was saying, I don't think we can go right in the bubble right now.
Right.
I think we take that 2 week off. But while we take this 2 week off, we already start creating that bubble, and then we will try to return back to normal. But only way I say we go back to the bubble is you know, I mean, the season going long, and let's say it spikes back up again. And if we need to take a break, you know, for us not to cancel the season, then we go to the bubble that's already created, that's already ready. That way we don't have to take months off at a time. We can just go there, you know, make test just like how they did last year when they went in. Before you go in, you had to get tested. When you get positive, you can go inside. But until then, because we got to remember this variant that's out is less deadly, but it's more contagious. So we're going to see a lot of spike, and it's going to be hard to contain it when you have a whole bunch of people in one setting.
Yep. You know what? I would say, all right, bubble is not a terrible idea. My thing is the bubble is a last resort. I mean, absolutely last resort. You're missing
I'm with you there.
5 players a game.
Yes.
But to go right into bubble, I mean, even the logistics, looking at it the last time, it wasn't perfect. Then you had a whole mental health issues, and that becomes a thing. Like, there's a lot to put on people. I think that's like all-time worst case scenario. But yeah, that's a last resort type thing. Do I think we're heading that direction? It doesn't honestly look that way. I know a lot of people are missing out of time, but even taking the NFL season as it's looking right now, their players missing. But I think if you allow maybe extra roster spots for some NBA teams, let them bring in some more people, kind of work it out that way, might be able to counterbalance it. But man, to do the bubble, that's a tough sell, man.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen.
Go ahead, Freddie.
And we have Christmas approaching, and the NBA is missing a lot of their stars due to COVID. Hey, Adam Silver gonna be like this, man. We can't keep taking too many hits on this money because I mean, you know, Christmas is like one of their biggest money days because everybody's watching.
Yep.
There's no football. Well, until this year, we do have one football game this year, but everybody get amped up and watch NBA on Christmas. They want to see the best matchup. They want to see the best players. Well, let's say LeBron. Let's say Kevin Durant, Harden, Jason Tatum. Let's say all these guys are out because of COVID. Well, that took a hit in the bottom line. And we all know billionaires do not like taking hits in the bottom line. I mean, that's point blank, period. So then their mindset would be like, okay, we need to create a game plan where we can continue to make money off this. The revenue to still come in. They will have to find a way. I'm not sure how they'll do it, but I'm pretty sure, I mean, hey, they just cracked down. The NBA, the Player Association just met. They agreed to go a little bit stricter on their COVID protocol. And you got to remember, right now we're going through holiday season. We just finished Thanksgiving, so now people was congregated once another with their families. You don't really know, the situations when they're away from you. So they do need to get more harder and more strict on these rules right around this time because people are with their families, people are with their friends. So it's not like, when we started the season where, okay, they're not around them. Well, hell, we don't know whether they was around them or not. But hey, something got to go down, man, for real.
Yeah, and just real quick before we move on, when it comes to this, here's the thing. Here's how I look at it. If you're gonna do the bubble, at that point, playoffs have to start because I don't. It's gonna be too awkward for it to have 4 or 5 separate locations. But then when you move from one bubble to the next, they're probably going to have to do a 2-week quarantine, which means they're not going to play.
Hey, I'm going to go over a stat of people in the NBA, players in the NBA going to the protocol. So, Tuesday, it was 13. Thursday, it was 11. Today, so far, it's 10. The previous high before Tuesday was 5, which was the 11th, and that was last Saturday.
Yep.
So these cases are going right now. They're going high. They're spiking.
Well, even with that, though, it was expected. I mean, that's what everyone was talking about throughout the air, that during the winter period, especially this kind of stuff, it's going to escalate. So I think this is exactly what we're speaking. I think after we pass that January mark, it's going to naturally drop down. So I think to take extreme measures right now, I just don't see the value in taking that.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying in terms of not seeing the value, but the problem is you won't see because the thing is, if we continue and it goes up, where do we go from there?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, what I'm saying, it's expected to go up. You know what I mean? Like when they were saying it in July, it's going to go down, but it's going to spike up in the holiday season and the winter, just because that's the way COVID travels. It travels better in that.
Hey, see, and let me let you know my logic behind this, because I said this in our group chat. Because one of our guys named Mike Hughes, shout out to Mike, was talking about, because he's a Bulls fan, talking about, oh, we got COVID.
We all make mistakes.
And they asked me, do I feel bad?
We don't make mistakes. Wait a minute, that was over my head. He said we all make mistakes. Oh,
my bad. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, man.
And then I asked, I said, he asked me, do I feel bad? I said, no, because we knew going into the season that it was a possibility for a spike. COVID have not gone anywhere. COVID is still here. Just COVID is just not, people are just kind of like, okay, COVID is here. There's nothing much more we can do about it. But I know that it's a possibility, but you want your best players out there, man, and you can't get that, then it's time to make a decision.
I just want to say this, and then we'll move on. I just think it's funny, quite comical, might I add, because you see, Mike has, by the way, from Ku, I was checking Woj tweets from last night, and the league will increase testing. And honestly, I don't know if that really will help. I don't know, because the testing itself is weird. Because how many players outside of LeBron James, Wesneck was tested positive, and then had tested 2 negatives in 24 hours and was able to play before the 2 weeks up. So. I mean, I'm talking about outside of LeBron.
All right, let's spice it up, Pride. I'm ready to see.
Oh, you ready to spice it up? You ready to get into it? All right.
I'm gonna see if I can make that vein poke out his head.
All right, so T, we're gonna throw you the question, the age-old question. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's only one right answer. To you, in your eyes, who is the greatest player to ever step on the court?
This might be the easiest question I've had all year, and I appreciate this softball.
So, is it LeBron James, Michael Jordan? Or do you have somebody else that in your eyes is the greatest of all time?
All right. Well, you already said the answer, so you made it even easier. I appreciate that as well, in addition to this easy question. LeBron James.
Yes, sir!
Who did you say?
Yes,
I'm not going to be disrespectful and say it's not even close, but
who did you say?
LeBron James.
Yes, sir!
Yes. The
Yes,
one argument that I
sir.
have for LeBron James that no Michael Jordan fan can ever say in any barbershop, in any NBA talk or anything is simple. Longevity. To be
Yes,
considered
sir.
a top 4 player, what is he in year 18, 19? I can't even count that high. After 10, I can't count that high. But once you get to that big number, bro, that's it. Michael Jordan was, when he went to the Wizards, what season was he in? Do you anyone know off the top of their head? Doesn't even matter. See, it didn't even matter. It was that
I think it
irrelevant.
was 15 or
That
16.
good. So no, I mean, yes, Michael Jordan's peak was amazing. No one's probably had a peak like that, but he's never had the longevity, consistency, and switched up his game as much as LeBron has from day one until right now. And he's still a top 5 player, and I dare anyone to say he's not a top 5 player right now.
Wait, who's not top 5 player?
No, I'm saying today,
people are saying
LeBron
that.
James is still a top 5 player, like right now as we speak.
Go ahead, Freddie. Explain to what
I was going to go LeBron,
real quick, T. I do want you, because eventually when you get put in the group chat, I want you to ask who Freddie thinks is the GOAT. No exaggeration. 5 different names came up, and he admitted each and every one. At one point, this man had Tim Duncan as the GOAT.
No.
So hold on. By the way, when you get put in there, tag Nate and he's in the group chat. We have video evidence. We caught the man in 4K. My guy really slapped a pregnant woman, and when we brought him to trial, talk about it wasn't me. While we're looking at the monitor, it was him. So I'm just saying what he says, take with a grain of salt. Go ahead, Fredward. I just had to set the
First off, that video is being sarcastic. First of all. But second, LeBron James can't even be the best player because he's not even better than the best player in the last 20 years. I mean, let's be honest. He is not even better than Kobe Bean Bryant. I mean, let's pump the brakes. I mean,
Thank you, T.
You're talking about a guy who played 20 years for the Lakers. 20 years, who won 5 championships. 5. You talking about a guy that's not afraid of the moment, that will not run from the moment. You talking about a guy who would not give up on his team. You talking about a guy.
Except for that one time he demanded a trade.
Well, we can't talk about that because LeBron James didn't actually left Cleveland once, went to Miami because he
never got traded and never demanded a trade.
Because he could not carry a team to win a championship. Then once he got his 2 in Miami, he left, went back to Cleveland another time, won a champion, then he left again to come to LA. So to me, it seemed like he just tried to lead to go team up with the best superstars because he can't handle.
When the first year in LA was straight youngsters, but pop off, kid, pop off.
Because he can't do it by himself. Yeah, he went there because he knew the Lakers were willing to do whatever it get to get Anthony Davis down there.
So why didn't he do it right there on the spot?
What you mean do it on the spot?
When he got there, why
because
did
he knew he had to lay out the foundation to get an Anthony Davis down there, Pride. Don't get me distracted. But Kobe Bean Bryant, God rest his soul, is a better player than LeBron James. You talking about a guy who was not afraid in clutch moments. You talking about a guy who was not afraid to come at you. And also, he does it on the defensive end as well. Unlike LeBron James at times. We've seen LeBron James.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Y'all know when you go to like visit someone at their house and you don't want to be all rude because you just got there, so you take off your shoes and all that. I'm trying to put my shoes back on, but I'm gonna let you have it.
Hold on. And then this is the same Kobe Bryant who had to get all in LeBron James' case because he wanted to pass up a shot in the clutch moment. This is the same guy who was afraid of the moment at times. We're talking about the same guy who we have kids that's inspired him. We have NBA players today that want to be like Kobe. Nobody said, I'm going to shoot like Bron. No, they said, I'm going to shoot like Kobe. You
want to know why? You want to know why? You want to know why no one says, oh, I want to play like Bron? Because you can't play like Bron. That's why. It's easier to shoot like Kobe when you never in your career shot over 47%.
And you know what? So it's easier to shoot like him when you're 4 out of 10. 5 out of 7 than 4 out of 10.
Do better.
But you know what, T? I want to put some clarity on Mr. Pride because he can't talk about nothing when it comes to Kobe. I'm going to put some clarity on the real quick.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Now, do me a favor. Say I'm wrong. Ever since he passed away, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Ever since he passed
I
away.
try to get canceled, but
I don't
no.
listen, but here's the thing: you can't cancel me if I'm saying the truth. You can't cancel me if I'm saying the truth. That's
But
all
you
it
know
comes
what?
down to.
No, I think he's been consistently not overrated, but okay, he's overrated if you put him in this conversation for
That's
best
what
of all
I'm
time.
saying.
That's
That's
the
what I'm saying.
only
Because
another
here's the
one.
thing, yo, T, ready? Because Freddie loves to leave out of the context. I said Kobe Bryant is a top 10 player all time.
I'll give you that. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a top 10 player all time.
He's not even the best in his
But he's
position of all
nowhere
time.
near
That
top
takes
3.
him out. He's not even the best in his position all time.
Oh
That
my
takes him out.
God,
He's
thank
number
you.
2.
He's number 2 in his position all
Bro,
time.
he's not even the best Laker of all time.
He is the best Laker of all
No,
time.
he's not. He's
You
not.
bugging.
He's not better than Magic.
He is
That's
better
me.
than Magic.
He's not better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he's not better than Shaq.
Kareem didn't be in LA his whole career, sir.
That doesn't mean nothing. That
That
doesn't
did
mean
mean
anything.
something.
No, that doesn't mean nothing. Because Shaq was there for 8 years. So that means you can't put him in there?
Shaq top 5, but he ain't top 3.
But Shaq wasn't there his whole career. Shaq
But
wasn't there his whole career.
how many championships he won in LA? How many championships he won in LA?
That's a tough one. I gotta give it to Kobe though. I gotta give it to Kobe as the best, like only because he stuck with the team for all his career. But
Nah, but I don't know. I'm not giving him
Yeah,
that. But
you got
this is the same
to,
dude.
Brian.
This is the same dude who demanded a trade, almost got traded to Chicago, and the organization. The only reason that he was not traded wasn't because Kobe Bryant had a change of heart. Not because Kobe Bryant went and talked to the organization. Not because of what Kobe Bryant did. It was the Chicago Bulls. I believe it was John Paxson at the time. Didn't want to part ways with Luol Deng. That is the only reason
But
Kobe
that's
Bryant stayed as a
that
Laker.
didn't happen. So we
don't
can't
sit there-
hold that
don't
against.
sit there- Do not sit there and cry and say, "Oh my God, Kobe, he was such a good." When this is the same dude who demanded a trade and tried to get out of town, and the only reason he stayed a Laker was out of his control because the other team didn't want to get a Luol Deng. So if you're not ready to have that conversation, I don't tell you.
wait, but why are we
Brian.
holding that against his greatness though of all time?
No,
as far as a
I'm
Laker,
gonna
yeah,
tell
you
you
want
why.
to
I'm
get traded, but in this
gonna
NBA,
tell you why.
everybody want to get traded.
I'm gonna tell you why, T. I'm gonna
Hit me.
tell you why. Because personally, I don't care how many teams you played on. But if we're allowed to kill LeBron for going to multiple different teams and say
But
Kobe's
that's him
because
actually
one of Freddie's points was that that Kobe stayed with one team his entire tenure. That was one of his points.
Wait, oh yeah, no. Nah,
See,
that
you
can't
see
be
what I'm
a
saying?
that can't be a measuring. Nah, you
Thank
can't use
you,
that.
man.
Nah,
Yeah,
absolutely
That's
not.
because he didn't actually do it.
That's
LeBron
stupid.
James left 4
That's
times.
stupid. So
Well, let me ask you this: if
2,
Damian Lillard does
3.
not move, does that take away from his greatness, or does it add to his
Yes.
greatness? It
It
adds
takes
to his
away.
greatness if
So
he
you don't know
doesn't
what he's
leave
talking about.
Portland right
He
now.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
No,
He doesn't know what he's
it
talking about.
hurts
And ready
him
to the funny
because
part? Ready for the
no,
T?
no,
Ready for the funny
no,
part?
no.
Freddie's
Hell
one of the
no.
people who's demanded
No,
him to leave. Freddie wants Dame out of Portland. But
I
all of a
sure
sudden
do. He
he-
needs to get the hell out of Portland.
But
Well,
it
that take away
diminishes
from his
But if you hurt
greatness.
him-
According to your argument, it
hurt
would
him,
take
you
away
know
from his
why?
greatness.
So
It hurts his
ridiculous.
greatness because he's not getting out of there because he's that great of a player that he needs to go to an organization that's going to help him build. I don't hold it against LeBron that he left Cleveland the first time. I don't hold that. But when you leave Miami, you go back to Cleveland, you win in Cleveland, then you leave. That's what I hold against LeBron.
LeBron, hold on.
Wait, I'm
Hold
sorry.
on,
You're
hold
upset
on,
that he
hold on,
left
hold on.
Cleveland or he left Miami? Which one?
I don't hold the first time he left Cleveland because he won.
Okay.
Because the organization was not for him. They was not willing to help him win. He went to Miami, won those championships. He left to go back to Cleveland. And then you win in Cleveland, then you leave again.
Well, I mean, that was the reason. He told you the reason why he was going
Thank
to
you.
Cleveland. To
See,
win
this is
the chip.
the
Hey,
part
but
that
was
shows
done.
you
I'm holding
what
that
you're
against
talking
him.
about.
You
From a
that great
job
of a player,
LeBron
no matter
James
what,
said-
you will find a way to win.
LeBron James said, I'm going back to Cleveland, and the reason I want to go back to Cleveland is to win them a ring. I want to win my home team, my home state, my home. I want to get them a ring. He
Well,
then
that's right.
finished
So
that.
back to the
And then
moment
on
at
top
hand.
of
Back to the moment on hand. One thing I do know is that one thing LeBron don't have that Kobe Bean Bryant have. He don't have this right here.
Oh my goodness.
and again and team.
And I hate doing this because
This
I
is
love
the same.
Bron.
This is the same dude. This is the same dude who says LeBron quote gave up on a
He
play
did.
when it was a 4-on-4 fast break.
No, it
And
was
he
not.
stayed
Go
back.
rewatch the
So
play.
it was
Go
back.
rewatch the play first. of all.
So
And
do me
number
a favor,
two,
Freddie.
I hate
Understand
that I
what's
got to
wrong.
do this because I love Bron.
No,
I
you
love
don't.
what
No, you
LeBron
don't.
James represents
I
on the
don't know.
court and off the court.
See, he
But
does
what
it.
I'm
If
saying
LeBron
is,
sneezes, he's
he
a bad
don't
guy.
have that
That's what
killer
it is every time with
instinct that a Michael Jordan have, that a Kobe Bryant have. He's
Killer
not
instinct.
giving up on
I feel like
plays.
it's the
He's
most
not giving
abused
up
term
on his team.
ever.
Thank you, T.
Killer
What do you think, T?
instinct. I'm
Thank
like,
you. When you
killer
tell me-
instinct is
listen,
the most
T,
abused term. It's almost like the more of a ball hog you are, the more appreciated you are.
Thank
Kobe would have
you.
taken a lot of
about the
shots.
ball hog.
Jordan would have taken a lot of
It's
shots. I'm
just
like,
about
no, bro,
that
give it to the
mentality.
open guy. Like, play basketball. Like that
Thank
killer
you.
instinct
Come
argument. I'm
on,
like,
man.
that's not
Like,
smart
get better.
basketball. Everyone praises
let me ask
Kobe
you a
because he
question.
holds on to the ball the entire
It's not
time.
even
It's like,
about
yeah,
that,
like
And then
Kobe.
T,
It's not
and
even
T,
about
and
that.
T, and T, in terms of his clutch and his clutch shooting, Kobe Bryant in terms of clutch shooting shoots like 16%.
but yet you only see the highlights of the shots he makes.
Exactly. So I'm like, can we take
See, it's not even
everything
about
in
that.
context?
Listen, see, Pride can come on here and change the narrative all he wants to. All he wants to. But what I'm talking about is, you remember last year in the first round of the playoffs, Lakers versus Suns.
Uh-huh.
LeBron, it's come a time where you go on a court and you got to say, okay, I'm that dude. I need to take over. Give me the ball and you move the hell out my way. You need to have that mindset. LeBron James, I'm gonna tell you sequence of plays. We was already getting our butts kicked. Run down the court, pass. Run down the court, pass. Pass, brick. Pass, brick.
Now hold
pass,
on. When he
brick.
passed, hold
And
on.
I'm like, LeBron,
See,
take
No.
over. You
When
see
he
these guys ain't making shots.
when he
Take over.
passed, no, when he passed, what were the quality of the shots his teammates were getting? That's
was
the
great
problem.
quality of
See,
passes,
T, this
great
is the
quality
problem
of
that people
shots,
have with
but
LeBron
the shots
James,
was
right?
not
That they
going
never
in.
want to admit. This is the problem they never want to admit with LeBron James. Every time.
But it comes a time.
Every time he passes the ball, they kill him for passing it. And my thing is, when he passed it, was it a clean pass, and B, when his teammate caught it, was it a good? Did it give him a good opportunity to shoot?
Yes,
If it
was,
did that,
Brian,
I'm
but
not
what
going to
I'm
go to
saying
LeBron
is
and say, "Oh,
that
Bron, you're a clown
you
for acting
need a-
up." I'm not going to go to LeBron and say, "Oh, that was a bad play." No, if it was a clean shot. Now, if Bron is throwing in a double teams, that's a whole separate. That's a whole separate issue.
Like always.
That's when you become Ben Simmons.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sorry, I
Don't
said
do
on
that.
accident. I don't know what just happened.
Come on,
My
team.
bad. Oh,
Come on,
no.
team. We was cool, bro. Come on, we was cool. We was cool.
Brian,
But look,
that's what you're missing. You're missing the point. They were great passes. They were great shots. His teammates was missing. When you see that they're missing and you're in a pivotal game, you need to say, move the hell back, play defense, give me the ball, and make things happen. And he
and then
don't
T, you
even
know what I
do
noticed
that.
about that narrative? You know what I noticed about that narrative?
What's that?
When LeBron does that, doesn't matter. See, this is something that I've noticed with not only Freddie, but people. When I'm gonna say this because Freddie hates LeBron, he pretends he likes
I
him
do
because
not.
LeBron is in LA. That's the only reason. If LeBron wasn't in LA, he would hate him. But this is what I noticed.
You probably
Every
right
single
about that.
time LeBron goes on a run, everyone always tries to sully it. One example, when he won his ring in Cleveland, when he came back 3-1, when Kyrie Irving hit the shot, not only did LeBron score like 3 or 4 baskets straight solo, he had the block. No one talks about that because they only want to talk about Kyrie hitting the shot. If you want to go to the shot, let's go back over to the first time when he was in Miami, the first time he played against the Spurs, right? Everyone says, oh my God, Ray Allen hit the shot. 16 straight points LeBron James scored by himself. I'm talking about he got the ball, did not pass it, held it on his own. So this whole notion, and those are just 2 examples. Never mind the times he's done that against the Celtics, against the Raptors, against the Miami Heat, against every other team. When he did it against the Thunder in the finals, and when he's done it against every other team, hell, even in some of the finals he lost against Golden State, LeBron James literally carried on his back, and it's never enough because even when he wins, there's always going to be one nitpick about him. So it's to the point where LeBron James knows no matter what I do, it's not enough.
Well, I think
I
that's the
will
mark
never
of
be
his greatness, though. That's what makes him great. Is the fact that it's so normal to see LeBron do stuff like that. It's almost boring now. Yeah, I remember that year that Derrick Rose actually won the MVP.
He
One
only had like what
MVP.
21 points per game. Like,
I was like, wait, what?
yo,
They were just so used to seeing
statistically,
LeBron
Bron
for
was
19
better.
years do it.
Yeah,
No
Bron was
chance.
literally better in every single statistical category. If I'm not mistaken, I think the only thing Derrick Rose had above him was the fact that the Bulls were, I think, a higher seed. I think that was the year they were the number 1 seed, if I'm not mistaken. That literally was the only thing Derrick Rose had. Outside of that, he could, and it was funny because then in the playoffs, LeBron shut him down.
Completely shut him down. I'm pretty
So
sure
what are
he
we talking
blocked his last shot too in that playoff game. Yeah, it was.
And look, and T, this, and I agree with you. I believe the greatest basketball player in the history of the game is LeBron James. And it's simple. LeBron
And you know what's
James
crazy
has
about
been-
that too?
Huh?
He's still playing right
Thank you.
now.
And
Like
here's
he's
the
not
thing,
even
people-
ended the conversation yet. It's still
Exactly.
going.
And here's my thing when it comes to why I personally call LeBron James the greatest basketball player ever. The stuff we ask LeBron to do, no one even thought about asking Mike. Nobody even thought about asking Kobe.
What?
Because
That's
we
what?
asked him.
What?
to
What is it?
average-
What is it?
We asked him, you need to give us at least 25 efficient points. You also have to pull down 7 boards. You also have to get everybody else involved and lead the team in assists. And when we need a stop, you're the guy. And on top of that, when we don't need a stop, you still need to go out and guard the best player, regardless of position. Because I've seen in a playoff series, I've seen this man guard Derrick Rose. I've seen him guard Kevin Durant. I've seen him guard
Was he
Dirk
successful?
Nowitzki. I've seen him guard Tim Duncan.
Was he
I've
successful?
seen this man. And ready, here's the funny thing about all 4 of those guys. Each play different positions. One is a point
You act
guard.
like Kobe didn't
One is
guard
a
the
small
best
forward.
player. of the
Kobe
opposite
could
team.
barely guard the 3. What are you talking about? Kobe could barely guard the 3.
Man, please.
Barely
You know,
guard the
hey, he gave Paul Pierce that work on the defensive end. You know it.
They both could play
Paul Pierce
defense. It's
does-
just LeBron's more positionless than Kobe.
Yes, and it's not even close. It's literally
And
not
that's
even close.
okay.
It's
That's
not even
okay.
close.
Look at LeBron's body structure versus Kobe.
So,
I mean, so
but
pump
hold
the
on.
break.
But if Kobe Bryant is so great, body structure won't matter. If he's
you
that
put
great,
LeBron in that body style structures Kobe, he ain't playing all
and,
5
and guess
positions.
what? And guess what? If
I
if
guarantee
I
you
was
that.
born and if I was born without my junk, I'd be a girl. But guess what? I look down, I got nuts down here, so I'm a guy. So I don't want to hear none of this what if stuff. Because if we could do that what if, okay, fine. What if Bron never lost in what if he never lost against Mavs? That's another ring. Are we gonna add that to his legacy?
You'll have
No,
Yeah,
no, we're not doing that. Don't hit me. And you're the same dude who get mad at when the people say what if. Come
No
on,
one wins
Freddie.
that game. No one wins that what if.
And look, and here's my thing. And again, I will say this because as much as I love LeBron, I do hold him to a standard. What happened in Dallas was the biggest black mark on any resume of any all-time great athlete. No debate. No debate. Because listen, T, the reason I say that is
Okay.
because I expected Bron to show up and I expected Bron to be assertive. And he was timid at certain positions.
Well,
at certain
you know what,
moments of the
though?
game.
I'll push back on that one. Yes,
Okay.
it was a giant black mark. He didn't show up, but other greats have done the same thing. They just they weren't as polarizing at the time. Like when
Right.
Jordan was
okay.
losing to the Pistons, no one was saying anything about it. See, everyone always says Jordan is perfect in the finals. He lost before he got to the finals. At least LeBron actually gets there and loses. So that whole,
No, hell no. We ain't gonna use that. We
Jordan
ain't
is
gonna use
perfect.
that scenario.
he was getting destroyed before he got Pippen.
I'd rather have 6-0 than 4-10.
Would you rather not get to the dance, just not get invited at
Yeah.
all, or at least
Yes,
have a
I'd rather not
possibility?
even get there.
This guy.
If we ain't gonna win,
Literally
what's
has
the
not
purpose
seen-
of being there?
LeBron has taken, arguably, between him and Allen Iverson, has taken the very worst team of all time to the NBA Finals.
Yes.
Between him
Yeah,
and the
I-
Allen
yeah,
Iverson
yeah,
team
and
that
I
they took
agree.
against
I
the
think-
Lakers,
in the East.
worst
Let's not
team
forget
ever.
that.
you said the second best player on his team was it West or Mo Williams? I can't decide, but one of the
You
two
can
was
just say
the
that.
second
Some
best
people, I
player
heard
on
some
there.
people say Anderson Varejao.
But hey,
He was third.
was he in the West or the East? Which one?
Blah, 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 blah. It was the one where they played the Spurs and got swept.
No,
What year?
because
My
T, this is the
question
point he's
was-
trying to make. This is the point he's trying to make, which again is a very pathetic attempt
It
to
is
try to
not.
undermine his legacy. Because he says because it was in the East, it didn't matter because the East at the time was easy. That's what a lot of people say. right?
It was a cakewalk.
But again, this is the same East. This is the same East that all of a sudden when LeBron leaves, all of a sudden looks open and competitive.
You know why?
This is
Because everybody went to the East now.
So now the Western Conference ain't hard.
You got two good
So
teams.
it sounds like you're telling me that people are avoiding LeBron. Like, where's LeBron at?
Thank
this year?
you!
We going east. We going east. We going east.
Listen,
We
listen. See, let me give you a little update about me myself. I root with these boys right here. Let me show you who I root for. That's my team right there. That purple and gold. That purple and gold. So I support LeBron James. I love him. I love him dearly. That man, I love what he do on the court and off the court. Hey, he came over here. Hey, I'm like this, Bron. Hey, forgive me what I say. If you win us the championship, hey, you good. I'm not gonna put you above Kobe because he got 5 and he done it in one team. But no kids out there saying, Bron. They saying Kobe.
And that's fine. And that's fine. And T, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this here.
Please do.
The reason people defend Kobe Bryant so much is because they're mad, like he was, prior to him passing.
He was not mad.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Okay,
What was he mad about?
There we go. That's fine. I can easily meet you. I'm gonna explain to you why he was mad. Growing up, he desperately wanted to be in the same conversation as who's better, him or Michael Jordan.
And he was in that conversation.
He never got that conversation.
He did.
You know what conversation he got? Who's better, him or Tim Duncan? No. And that drove him nuts. That bothered him. He couldn't stand it because he felt like he was better than Tim Duncan in every way, shape, or form.
Way better than him.
And he felt like I should not be in the same
conversation. Way better?
Yeah, he way
better. I'm going to tell you this right now. 110%. Tim Duncan was way better than Kobe Bryant. And honestly, that's really how I feel. That's really how I feel. I like Tim Duncan. I like Tim Duncan better. I personally believe Tim Duncan was better.
I'd say they're even. I'd say they're literally
I'll accept that. I'll accept that because me personally, 100%. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to sit here and say that one was extremely better than the other because in my opinion, I think they're close.
It's not close.
I'm taking the and again, Freddie.
Tim Duncan had a team around him his whole damn career while he's down in San Antonio.
And the only time Kobe won was when he had a team around him.
Don't forget, Kobe had that down period.
Shaq carried Kobe for like 3 10. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he had
Shaq was carrying this kid, bro.
Pride, people forget.
Do better, man. Do better.
Pride, people.
No, man.
See, this is what you do to America. You want to mute me on this damn mic
because you
don't want to get embarrassed. You don't want to get embarrassed. I'm straight embarrassing you right now.
You're not embarrassing nobody. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself because at no point was Kobe Bryant even allowed to even lace up LeBron's shoes, bro. It was never close,
young
bro.
Listen.
Out of your mind. Kobe was, imagine, T, imagine this. We gonna call Kobe a GOAT. And never in his career he shot 40% from the field. Ever in his career. We're gonna call him the GOAT with only one finals and only
he
one
don't
MVP
have to. He's a shooting guard. What are you not understanding? He's a shooting guard.
What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
You talking about Tim Duncan is better than Kobe?
Yes, I do.
Tim Duncan had great players around him.
So again,
is that
damn
thing around him.
And don't say that because Shaq carried Kobe. He had Shaq.
Wait, who had more weapons? Let me ask you this: who had more weapons, LeBron or Kobe, in their careers?
Kobe not even close.
LeBron?
Kobe not even close.
LeBron.
Kobe not even close.
Oh my goodness.
Because he had
Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade.
How long did he wait until he had those weapons? Kobe came in. Like, what was it? His second year he got Shaq right off the bat? Like, let's go.
I think it might have been his first year. It might have actually been his first year.
Right off the bat. Let's go.
Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh.
And the competition. They played arguably one of the greatest teams of all time, that Golden State Warrior team.
Thank you.
My goodness.
J.R. Smith.
You put J.R. Smith in that conversation. I know you snuck that one. I heard it. I heard that in the background.
You
got
he didn't have a Kwame Brown on his team.
And on top of that, listen, Kobe had Andrew Bynum before Andrew Bynum was Andrew Bynum. Like, this was back when people looked at Andrew Bynum and they said there's only two legit bigs in the league, Andrew Bynum and Dwight Howard. And those two were go. That's when he had Andrew Bynum. He didn't have Andrew Bynum when he had got the afro and he went over to the Sixers with the dude looked completely different and looked like he should have been out the league. No.
Dwayne
He had
Wade,
Andrew
Kyrie,
Bynum at his
K-Love,
best.
Ray Allen, Chris Bosh, AD, Shaq, Mo Williams.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You
You're
just
gonna put an old Shaq and not mention that for Kobe?
He said
Yeah,
something
you
before.
lost
What was the other
all
name you said before?
Yeah,
Haslam,
all credibility.
Mario Chalmers, Derrick
Mario
Rose.
Chalmers. My goodness.
I got
Rajon
washed up Derrick
Rondo.
Rose. Hey, washed up Derrick Rose.
I.T.
That is so
Isaiah
good.
Thomas,
He had a wash up Derrick Rose.
Oh
That's
my.
kind of like me saying, "Oh yeah, Kobe had Karl
and
Malone."
Dwight Howard.
Yep, and he had Karl
No,
Malone.
didn't Kobe have some of the best big men of all time in our generation?
Yeah,
Like with
he had
Shaq. He had
Karl Malone
Dwight
and
Howard
Gary
at a
Payton.
point, no?
Yes.
Dwight was soft like tissue, man.
See, no, and at the time it was when he left Orlando. He was the best big man in the game.
He
And
was
Dwight
soft
Howard
like
is
tissue
already a
when he
great
got
though. So I don't disrespect Dwight Howard. He may not look like much now, but Dwight Howard's still a great.
Man, move on to the next topic. I done schooled y'all enough.
You didn't school nothing, bro.
I
If
did,
this is
man.
school, Freddie, you literally stay back, bro.
You messed around and made me sell my Kobe jersey during the segment.
Last topic.
I'll buy it from you. How much you want to sell
No, I gave it out for free.
it?
Yep, burn it. So obviously this year, in terms of the NBA, it's been wild.
Talk about it, Pride.
You said what?
Talk about it.
No. Well, for us, because I'm a Celtics fan. For us, it hasn't been wild. It's been disappointing, and at this point, I mean, sure, maybe we could fight for a playing spot, but even if we get in, we're not going to be doing any noise. We've been extremely inconsistent. So, difference between me and you, Freddie, I can admit that. You're still delusional thinking you guys are going to win. T, let me ask you something. At this point, I wholeheartedly believe it's a two-man race in the West between the Suns and the Warriors. I believe one of those teams. I believe. Okay, as I was saying, for also really interrupted. I believe right now they're on a collision course to end up in the Western Conference Finals. And do because that face you made, it seems like you disagree. Are you disagreeing, but me saying it's a two-man race, or do you think they have a chance and there's like a third team I'm omitting right now?
Oh no, they definitely have a chance, but it's by no means a two-team race in the West. The thing with the West, right? Not everyone's healthy, and when everyone gets healthy, that West, you're talking about 6 different teams that can legitimately compete to get to the
But some
finals.
of the injury, but the thing is, some of the injuries are season-ending. Like for
Correct.
me,
But
the
you're talking
Nuggets,
about
I'm
Kawhi
not
Leonard
the Nuggets
may
out.
be available in the beginning of the playoffs, completely changes the complexion in the West.
You're not a Clipper fan, are you?
Oh, I would never do something like that. No, never.
They're not a part. They're not allowed to join this network.
Oh, we don't like the Clippers like that. But
Well, no,
I mean, with the Clippers though, they still look good right now without Kawhi. You add Kawhi to that mix, they can take out any team.
I mean,
Warriors
honestly,
look
they look
good.
better. They look better than what I expected them to look. If we're gonna be honest.
Absolutely. And that development that you're getting, you can't sleep on that either.
No.
Then you have teams that are slept on, like the Jazz. Jazz are legit. I would not want to meet the Jazz if I was in the West. Literally, if I'm Phoenix going against the Jazz, I might pick the Jazz to win that series. So you have a bunch of teams that are kind of middling. I don't know what's going on with Denver with some of those injuries that they have. Maybe they get Murray back. That changes the whole complexion of their team over there. So there's a lot going on in the West, trying to figure it out. Westbrook is probably on his way out. Who's coming back in? There's a lot to be figured out. So click our favorites, yes, right now. But I mean, that could change with the quickness before the playoffs start.
So, I mean, me personally, I am not a believer in the Utah Jazz. They're a hell of a regular season team. Don't get it twisted. I love Donovan Mitchell. That kid is legit. There's no debate there. My only thing is after that, you have Rudy Gobert, who, in my opinion, is a glorified role player. In terms of defending the paint, he's great. But then outside of that, he becomes an immense liability. And then obviously after that, you got a lot of role players. So me personally, in terms of the playoffs, I don't trust the Jazz. Memphis, they're the 4 seed. I kind of put them in the same category. If I could parlay this over to football as the Chargers, right? They're talented, but they're a little too young. A few more years. You know what I mean? Let's make some right moves with them. Like Memphis is trending in the right direction. And then the Clippers at 5. Again, if they had Kawhi Leonard, maybe this is a different conversation. maybe. But just without Kawhi Leonard, I don't trust enough in Paul George to lead them to the promised land. So, and then at 6, we have the Lakers, which I believe with the acquisition of Russell Westbrook, it just made them a first-round exit. You know, that's just how I feel about it.
That team is definitely not going to stay that way, though. You know the Lakers are going to switch it up.
But here's the thing: if they switch it up, there's nothing really much. The thing they need to switch up is Russell Westbrook, and then they need to bring in defensive-minded players that, you know, like some 3-and-D guys. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously people say they need to get healthy, but my thing is a lot of the guys that you're getting healthy are going to be at the back end of your rotation. So it's not like a lot of those guys are going to get healthy and all of a sudden, boom, starting lineup. It's like, you know, a lot of them are kind of on the back end, so I don't know how much of an impact that would make. Dallas is at 7th. Again, I love
Sleeper
Luka.
team. That's a good sleeper team right there.
And it's a good sleeper team, but at the same time, I think this year, first year with Jason Kidd, Chris Porzingis has been playing well now. I think this is the year where now they're trying to get them to mesh together. So give them one more year to properly fit in perfectly. We can go from there. 8th, the Denver Nuggets, Jamal Murray. That's, you know, when he comes back, we need to see how he goes. And then Michael Porter Jr., he's going to be out. And then 9 down, you got the Timberwolves. Are they really going to be, like, you know, they'll be a playing team. They're not making noise in the playoffs like that. Sacramento, Portland Trailblazers, Spurs, Rockets, Pelicans, Thunder. Like, those are teams that are really not going to make any noise. So it's kind of like a lot for me. A lot of teams have question marks. And that's kind of why I'm saying it's a 2-man race. Trey said experience goes a long way. And listen, it could potentially. It could. But
Well, the cool thing about being in the West, though, is you don't have to stress about winning the title. Just, you know, stress about getting there, because the title's going to be won by the East this year. And I believe it's going to be Miami. Just putting that up there.
What, you said Miami?
Miami will win the finals.
Yeah. You lost all credibility. You just lost all credibility. Can I switch up my go-tos?
Hey, gentlemen, breaking news come out the NFL.
Breaking news. Oh,
NFL and the NBA NFL Players Association are discussing postponing multiple Week 15 games. Force per source, this league is getting pressure to move games to everyone's shores.
wow. Well, you said what week are we in right now?
15.
Oh, so this. Like
Yeah,
right
so
now.
this weekend. So matter of fact, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let's say they do postpone it. Do you believe it's better they postpone it, or if they just shrug their shoulders and cancel this, not the season, but the week? And you know what I mean? Just kind of not, because the way I'm looking at it is, again, you're still going to be playing 16 weeks. So that would be the normal. I mean, do you have to, and I'm going to start with you, T, do you have to actually postpone it, or would you consider canceling it?
I think you're better off postponing it, because there's a lot that's tied into it. It's not just getting on the court and playing the game. You have sponsors, you have people that have a lot of ties to the actual games. So to go out and cancel it, you're canceling a lot of moving parts at once. So I think the best bet is to move it up. And it just, it makes zero sense. It goes back to the whole bubble thing we were talking about
And
earlier.
you got playoff seeding as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So to cancel games, man, that's a slippery slope. Once you start canceling games there, then there's a lot of logistics you have to move around.
And here's the thing, because, you know, they're saying money, but the way I'm looking at it, and again, I understand, but the way I'm looking at it is, look, last year, guess what you had? 16 weeks. If you cancel this week, what you got? 16 weeks. You're not really losing money. You know? Now,
I think it's more the playoff seeding than anything why you have to postpone it, because too many teams are close or, you know, in the hunt to make the playoffs. You have Green Bay's number 1, but you have certain teams in that division as well that could be the number 1 seed as well. You know, it's a lot of things that's, you know, tied into that as well. But to the NBA question at hand, you're not just gonna skip over me and act like you didn't do that, sir. But there's not no two-way competition in the West. It's a third one, and it's a team that knows how to win. It's a team that knows that it's not how you start the season, it's how you finish the season. They know that you can go on a 30-game winning streak with 5 losses, like Golden State and Suns probably gonna do. You can do all that, but guess what? We know it's about who finishes, who finished the season hot, and it's the Los Angeles Lakers. Don't count them out yet. One thing I do know. One
give
thing
you
I
that.
do know is about a LeBron James led team is that he will make sure his guys are ready. He
I will
will
say,
make
no one in
sure
the West wants to see you guys over there
nobody want to see us. Nobody.
in the playoffs.
Not in the
And
playoffs.
and here's the thing. I love LeBron.
Hey, we're not built for the regular season. We're built for the playoffs.
The problem is, what if
Y'all got weak bones, all that
and
all
here's
the
the
age
thing,
over
I
there.
understand.
We want to slow it down, make sure we condense it for the
But
playoffs. I think playoffs y'all be ready.
I'm gonna call out another stat like I always do. I did that the other day on the show because people always want to say Bron is old in year 19. They want to say
No, Bron's
he's
having a
done.
hell of a year.
But I want to say we're gonna compare seasons this year. We're gonna compare Steph Curry season versus LeBron James season.
I saw that graphic. Yeah. No, when I saw that, I started laughing because I was like, it's wild. Like,
Let me hear these stats. I gotta hear it.
Steph Curry's averaging 27 points a game this year,
Oh, geez.
5.6 rebounds, 6.3 assists.
all impressive, right?
Huh?
Yeah,
No,
no,
I
I
said
didn't even know it
all
was that high.
impressive, right? So
Yeah.
far, they're impressive, right?
43.2% from the field. Okay. LeBron James in year 19 is averaging 26.3 points per game, 6.1 rebound, one more rebound per game, 7.1 assists, one more assist, and he's shooting 50.6 field goal percentage from the field. I mean, I must say for a year 19, and he still got to dictate to a Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis, while Steph can literally just say, you know what, I'm just gonna take over.
Freddie, I'm glad you finally joined our side over here. LeBron is the greatest. No, I agree
No,
with
I
everything you
love
said.
Bron, bro.
LeBron is the greatest.
I
man.
love him. I respect the dude. I love him his game and off the court. Like I don't hate Bron, but I'm just saying, I'm gonna be honest. I love Bron. I love what the man stands for, man.
So yeah, as I was saying, it definitely is a two-man race between Golden State and the Phoenix Suns.
It might look like that now, but I mean, things change. Regular season
And
can
don't get
fool
it
you.
twisted,
The
if it
Wizards were the
changes-
best team in the East
Right,
for a little bit,
and don't
and
get
I'm
it
pretty
twisted.
sure they dropped off.
All right, no. That and the Wizards had a great seed, but at one point they were like a top 2 seed. Does that mean they were nice? No, like no one at all.
At
ever
one
said
point
they
in
were nice.
time, we thought Boston was a good team in basketball.
We thought they were a good team, and you're
What
ready
are we
here.
talking about the 90s or like today or like
No,
what are we
this
talking
year.
about?
This year,
Boston was a
I had
good team.
expectations for them, and again, we've been inconsistent at best. At best, we've been inconsistent. That is the best way I can describe it. And again,
You had expectations for Boston?
Yes, I did.
Oh, gee, I expected them to be on the couch during playoff season. That's
Hey,
the only
T, what's your
expectation I
team?
had for them. I didn't see that anything else from Boston.
See, what is
He's a
your
Miami
team?
Heat fan.
Miami Heat. So I'm a little biased with my my take.
The same dudes who are mad scared of Nikola Jokic. That's his team. That's his chosen
But
one.
he was hurt when we beat y'all in the finals that year. Okay, I got you.
This guy. Was it
They had
that
no
Mickey
shot.
Mouse?
They had no
Mickey
shot.
Mouse final.
Yeah, they had no shot.
Yeah,
Look,
we're
I mean,
missing our leading scorer. I just want to put that out there. Our leading scorer of that series.
Yep, 100%. You're acting like with him, you guys would have done anything. Look, for me, I don't know, man. It's just and Trey says Golden State is still missing key players, and it's true. But the key players that they're missing, it's kind of easy to plug them in. Like Clay's a shooter, and Wiseman, yeah, he starts, but he's just a role player who's there to really, to clean up, hold down the paint, and maybe an occasional pick and roll here and there. So it's like, for me, I think it'll be a little easier. And on top of that, Clay has been in this system before, so I feel like he'll fit in. It'll be easier for him to fit in. Wiseman will probably, he might struggle. But again, when you look at it, you don't need Wiseman to come out and be, he doesn't have to be DeMarcus Cousins back when he was in, Sacramento, 25 and 10. That's not him.
It's all on paper, though. You got to play the games. This is on paper because we've said a lot of things like that Miami Mavs final that you were talking about. On paper, it shouldn't have been close, but ended up losing it anyway. So yes, it looks great on paper. Wiseman back. He is a first round. Was it second pick? So it looks good on paper. Clay, is he going to be healthy? He's going to recover like that because he's been gone 2 years from the game, and you might take away from the development from the new players that you already have that are developing over there. So there's a lot. There's a lot.
Trey with the comment. I'm saying when they get back, there'll probably be a point in which they separate themselves from the field, and we'll see. I believe they're going to be the first, his first few games. They'll probably try to have Clay get back into rhythm. Which honestly, I don't even think they're going to do that because now they have him in the G League. He's kind of getting his cardio back and all that stuff. So But look, and I understand, Freddie, you said Lakers aren't built for the regular season, which is true. If I had to guess, I'm assuming that because right now they're the 6th seed, and I'm pretty sure they're comfortable with that.
We'll be number
Like,
5 tonight.
And we'll see. But I'm pretty sure all they want to do is just be at least in the 6th seed. That way they're not in the play-in. And then they check, then they go in the playoffs and be, full steam ahead. But to each their own. All I'm saying, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see this Laker team getting out of the first round. I really don't. I just think it's way too, I don't know. And again, this has nothing to do. And by the way, T, one of the lines Freddie loves to spit out is, "Oh, because you're a Celtic fan." And it's like, not really, because last year I was pulling for LeBron to win. You know what I mean? Like, and LeBron, not last year, I'm sorry, year before last when they were in the bubble. And
Gotcha.
what team was LeBron James on? What team was he do? What team did he happen to be on? The Lakers, right?
I don't
Okay,
remember.
just asking for a friend. So, you know what I mean? So this whole thing.
Wait. Were you rooting for him because we knocked you guys out? Is that
No, because I'm a
really
LeBron
rooting
James
for
fan.
him?
No, I'm a LeBron James fan. And I every time I always root for him, even when I know he's gonna lose. Like first is like when he was I think it was his first year he went to the finals against Golden State when Kyrie Irving, broke his kneecap and Kevin Love had his arm snatched out by Kelly Olynyk, which, at the time it was a Celtic, and I don't want to say it was a dirty play, but it was questionable at best. What I mean? Like,
Are you on that dirty play tray that LeBron is a dirty player?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. I just had to make
I
sure.
will say this.
Oh,
There have been plays that he's done that has been dirty. We need to be honest about that. But in terms of calling him a dirty player, no. And it's because I believe at every player has had done 2 or 3 things in their career that's dirty. Like no player is gonna skip. Tim Duncan has done some dirty plays. You know what I mean? And it like, you know what I mean? Like I cannot fathom anyone having a perfect career in terms of not doing anything dirty.
Kobe Bean.
You know what?
you said Kobe Bean.
I'm not even going to even touch that because did he get accused of being sexually assaulting somebody? My bad.
I knew it.
My
I
bad.
didn't want to do it.
My bad.
Oh no.
My bad. My
Oh,
bad.
Don't make me get Kendrick Perkins on this show.
Go ahead, get him. By the way, T, you'll meet him. He literally looks like a slimmer version of Kendrick Perkins, and he low-key sounds like him. It's
I
wild.
gotta see it. I gotta
He
meet him.
got the beard and everything. We were talking to him yesterday, and it's kind of funny. He leaned back and said something, and I was like, "Oh, what the hell?" Like I swear I thought it was him. I was bugging for a whole minute, bro. Iverson, what it do, baby? But look, man. Look, I'll be honest, man. I counted out the Phoenix Suns this season, bro. I counted them out. I didn't think they were going to be able to do it. And
They haven't done it yet. What are you
I was about to
talking
say
about?
it's still pretty early though. I don't know.
when the dude, listen, man, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I thought, them starting 1-3. I thought, I had them out. I'm like, obviously they'll make the playoffs, but I was like, in terms, because I was like, I think a lot of these young guys thought they made it, and they started getting comfortable. You know what I mean? Even Chris Paul to an extent, because his first finals.
It
He's
still
been in
can
the league for
happen.
a
It ain't
minute.
did it yet, though, Brian. Calm the hell down.
You said what now?
They still haven't done it yet, so calm the hell down.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I think
They
that was
haven't
it
went
for
to the
Phoenix.
finals or won yet, so calm the hell down.
I don't think Phoenix gets back there anymore, man. I think last year was a missed opportunity.
Hold
They
on.
should've
Freddie,
won
what
that
are
one.
you talking about, Freddie?
You just said, "Oh, I thought this might be the year." They didn't do it, but they looking good. I'm like, Iverson, you're the one that didn't want to.
Freddie, you have no idea what you're talking about, Freddie, because I didn't say that. I said I had them counted on. The reason was because they started the season slow, and I thought they made it just because they made the finals. That's what I said.
You didn't say that. You must have missed.
Yeah, it's exactly what I said, Freddie.
No, that's not
After
it.
this, you
Go
can go ahead
rewatch
and
the
reread.
film. Go rewatch the clip.
Go rewatch
Go
it. This
rewatch
is
the
what
clip.
I said.
Iverson,
This is what I
you
said
can't
straight
say
up.
you
Whether
own
you like it or
LA.
not,
You
it doesn't
didn't
matter.
want it. You
Doesn't
didn't
matter.
want
This Suns team thought they made it.
Iverson,
thought they
take
were
my
it.
bet.
They were all their hot stuff, and they started 1-3, and it was a good thing they did because I feel like that kind of woke them up a little bit. And ever since then, now they're tied with the best record, not only in the West but in basketball. They're tied with
Iverson, take my bet. Then you own LA. Matter of fact, we play Tuesday. Are you willing to put up a bet for Tuesday game? $100.
Matter of fact, Iverson, he's betting you $100. All you gotta do is say yes or no. You say yes or no, we go from there. But
Man, that game's a coin
He's
flip.
gonna say no.
Lakers, all they talk about is the past. With Freddie,
yeah.
100%.
I mean,
100%. 100%.
He don't believe in his
100%.
team.
That is the equivalent. Like T, what he does is the equivalent of me saying, "Yeah, bro, the Boston Celtics were a dangerous franchise. We won the chip in 08." Like that's what he'd be doing. That's what he would be like. Oh, how many? He was like, oh, how many rings does your franchise have? And it's like, yeah, like first, like guess what? Sacramento or not Sacramento? The Jazz has 0 rings. They got 0 rings. Zero.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
And the
boys
Rockets
and
have
girls,
some
we
rings.
want
And
to
guess
say
what? That
thank
doesn't mean that
you.
the Rockets are better. Like, come on, do better. He said, I ain't got no $100. I'm only 18. LOL. I ain't paying no Freddie $100.
All right, let's make it this. You got hair on your head, you got eyelash, you got a beard. Hey, we can do a shave for a shave. I cut all my hair off, my eyelashes, in my hair, bald.
Damn,
You-
that's a
if you
commitment.
lose, you gotta come on this show
That's a
and do the
commitment.
same thing.
Hold on.
I wouldn't shave my arm hair for that one. Wow, that's a coin flip. You
No,
brave for
I
that
mean,
one.
no
But-
beard,
Okay,
no
hold on.
mustache,
Before
no
we continue with this,
eyelashes. and
I've
no
seen
hair
only 18.
bald.
You can grow it back. Say yes.
hold on. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can always go it back, but hold on, because I wanna let's see what we got going on here before we sign off, because this is gonna be very, very interesting. Let's see. So I'm trying to find the next. So it will be Phoenix at crypto.com. That new joint, like bro, that T is like.
I love that name. I love that
it
name.
too.
To me, it's weird and it's funny, but it's just because I'm accustomed to Staples Center. So Dustin says it's official. Raiders and Browns postponed to Monday.
What were they supposed to play? Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday. They were supposed
Okay.
to be the first of the doubleheader, which I'm pretty sure at this point the Patriots are gonna might be pushed back to Sunday. I think they might, because why only
How many-
push one game back from Sunday? Why
Wait, how
only
many
do one?
players are? I don't think the Patriots and Colts are missing a lot. Are they on COVID protocol?
I think the
I think it was really the Raiders and Browns that got hit. I can't think of one player. I might be wrong, but I can't think of one player.
well, I
that's
mean
got
not
COVID.
us, but like the
Hey,
Colts.
Iverson, I don't care. Westbrook not my team got hit too, so they won't.
Yeah, I
be
was
ready
gonna
to-
say, Iverson.
But no
You can't
excuse.
say let's hope Booker will be back, because the armaments are look, hair for hair. Okay. Iverson, just say yes or no.
Just
Who
one
drafted
eyebrow.
Booker?
just one.
No, loser
Didn't even gotta be
full
both.
ball, full ball. Talking about if you got a beard, you gotta get rid of that. You gotta get rid of the hair, eyebrows. You gotta get rid of any head hair. Iverson, all you gotta do is say yes or no. It is Phoenix Suns at the LA Lakers. The arena is the crypto.com. It's just so weird, bro.
I love the name. The best
Oh.
name so far.
Really?
By far.
I'm glad they changed the name to Staples. LeBron, AD, and Russ, they can't win in Staples. We can't let that happen. That's Shaq and Kobe's out.
Staples. You know what though? I'm thinking back to when they actually started to call it Staples. People must have thought it was the weirdest name to name a stadium, because you just naming it after like an Office Depot style place, like Staples. You're gonna play
That's like, yo,
Staples.
that's like, yo, facts. I mean, that's like the Boston Celtics.
Hey, Iverson, we gotta win
Yeah,
something to be the
exactly.
owner. He ain't won jack nothing. Pride, take us home.
Westbrook to the owner of LA in Booker.
Oh,
I mean, look, I'm not touching that one. I'm not touching that one, because that's
if both of them were healthy in the playoffs, going head to head, honestly, I think I put my
Suns.
money on the Lakers to win it.
I'm taking Suns. I'm taking Suns.
Yeah.
We're talking about everyone.
Nobody-
So we're talking about everyone healthy, right?
Everyone 100% healthy on both teams. I'm taking the Lakers.
With Trevor Reese, old none, THT. Ooh.
Kel Bridges ain't no slouch.
I just see LeBron taking Chris Paul that last 5 minutes.
Hey,
No.
Yeah,
No,
just-
those last 5 minutes, it would not be Chris Paul. It would be D Book who would be doing all that stuff.
I don't know. Chris Paul was tearing him up last year in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Let him
but
take whatever he
at the
wants.
same time, they try to give Book his opportunities.
no,
They're trying
West
to
will be
feed
on
him like they
CP.
will with Kobe, but I don't think Book is built like that.
Oh, of course
Like what?
not.
Like
Yeah,
Kobe?
I mean, kind of like a Kobe to be able to get a clean shot on his own. Like he very
I
much
think-
feeds
I
off
think-
the players around him. He's
I
not
think
very
he-
much like a smooth dribbler to be able to get to a shot.
I mean, because I was about to say, to me, I do think that he kind of does play like Kobe in terms of, I just want to shoot. The only thing that he does need to be a little smoother dribbler, because I feel like if it was just a little bit smoother, to your point, T, a lot of his shots would be even more open.
And
it
even
would be
that
something
finishing at the
different.
basket too is something he needs to work on.
Yeah.
That finishing package.
Yeah, 100%. But
Hey, Iverson, you can say, hey, next Tuesday we meet again. That's gonna be your finest moment in LA.
wow.
This
This has been the ASAP Midday Sports Show. Obviously, we'll be trying to go live more. T, any final words to the people?
I'm glad I come out here and just drop some knowledge on y'all over here. I just wanted to be known that I was the first one to say Miami's going to win the championship this year. COVID, bubble or not. Championship coming to Miami.
Yeah, bro. Friend, it's crazy. The first prediction you make is the first wrong one. Freddie, what you got?
I want everybody to make sure you guys go to the YouTube, go follow All Sports All Plays Network, ASAP Network on YouTube. Go subscribe, give us a comment, share, and all that great stuff.
Yes, sir. You guys heard the big boss man. It's your boy Pride on behalf of T and Freddie. We'll see you on the next one. Be safe.
Peace.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces.